Mojang completely refused to make Minecraft's block sets consistent. Almost every block set in the game is missing random block variants. Sandstone? There's no cut sandstone stairs or walls, and no smooth sandstone walls. The same goes for red sandstone. At least that's consistent. Another example is red nether bricks. There's no fence, cracked, or chiseled variants. There are dozens of these gaps, so I decided to do what Mojang won't. I added every single missing block. Before adding anything, I mapped out every block set with missing blocks and sorted them into 3 categories. The base stone types, linked to progression and utility, the random less consistent block sets like sandstone, nether quartz, and endstone, and the 6 decorative overworld stone types. The black blocks represent blocks that are missing. I started with the weirdest omissions: stone walls, smooth stone stairs and walls, purpur walls, chiseled purpur, smooth basalt, slab stairs and walls, and all the previously mentioned sandstone blocks. Then I tackled all the cracked brick blocks. Mossy blocks have full sets, why not cracked blocks? So I added slabs, stairs, and walls for every cracked brick type. That alone filled a ton of gaps. With all the most random blocks added, I moved on to working on one block set at a time. A quick one to knock out was prismarine. Prismarine brick walls and dark prismarine walls were both missing. I also added cracked prismarine bricks that kinda look like they've been scratched by guardian spikes, and mossy prismarine bricks that look like they have algae growing on them. Another easily completed set is red nether bricks, which was just missing the fence, chiseled variant, and cracked variant. The only reason I gave a non-wood block like red nether bricks a fence variant is because normal nether bricks has a fence, and I'm trying to be consistent. Next we have endstone, which is missing the slabs, stairs, and walls. I also added cracked endstone bricks, chiseled endstone bricks, and endstone pillars. The reason endstone is the only block that received a pillar variant is because I'm trying to make endstone and purpur somewhat uniform. I also decided not to add mossy variants to block sets that are not from the overworld. That's why endstone and other nether or end block sets don't have new mossy blocks. I did make one exception to this rule, and you will see that later. The next block set is mud bricks. I added cracked mud bricks, mossy mud bricks, and chiseled mud bricks. Seriously, how do swamp blocks not have a mossy variant? That's a crime. I also decided to give packed mud slabs, stairs, and walls. Regular bricks are a very similar story to mud bricks. I added cracked and mossy variants as well as a chiseled variant, but I'm still not happy with the chiseled variant, which, along with a few other textures, I would still consider to be programmer art. Netherrack was a very quick block set to finish. All I added were slabs, stairs, and walls. The last miscellaneous block set left is nether quartz. It was missing the quartz wall and smooth quartz wall. Quartz bricks were also missing the slab, stairs, and walls. I also added cracked quartz bricks and mossy quartz bricks. The mossy quartz is the previously mentioned exception to my rule about not adding mossy blocks for nether or end block sets. But quartz almost doesn't even feel like a nether block, and I can really see mossy quartz being useful in builds. With all the miscellaneous block sets done, we can take a look at the 6 decorative overworld stone types: tuff, calcite, dripstone, andesite, granite, and diorite. I decided to make these block sets almost completely uniform. Tuff was only missing the cracked and mossy variants, but calcite and dripstone were missing literally everything other than the base block. So completing those sets took a while. Andesite, granite, and diorite, on the other hand, were only missing all the brick blocks and chisel blocks. Some of the chiseled block variants still need better textures, especially the chiseled calcite, which currently looks very bad. I also still need to go through all the mossy textures and change the shade of the green moss on each block to better match the color of the block. Before we take a look at the last block set, let's revisit sandstone, because when I was making the cut sandstone walls, I wanted the top and bottom of the walls to use the smooth sandstone texture, so that they matched the other sandstone blocks. But I somehow made this, and some other abominations that should never be spoken of again. Once I got it working, I also applied this change to the vanilla sandstone walls. The last block set is Deepslate. I actually already made a separate mod and video about fixing Deepslate, so I'm just going to quickly run through the blocks I added in that mod, which is called Cinch's Better Deepslate. Added Deepslate stairs, slabs, and walls, mossy cobble Deepslate, mossy Deepslate bricks, and mossy Deepslate tiles, as well as polished Deepslate pressure plates and buttons. I also plan on adding some kind of sculk Deepslate combination block in the future. I'm working on a big update and new video for this Deepslate mod, so keep your eye on the channel for that video. And with that, every block set is no longer missing blocks, at least for the most part. There are still some block variants I plan on adding in the future, like missing resin blocks, chiseled prismarine bricks, and more polished variants for some block sets. I also still need to do quite a bit of work on the textures for some blocks, but that can be for another video. I hope you enjoyed this video and enjoy playing with all the new blocks added in this mod I'm calling Cinch's Missing Blocks. For one of my next videos, I'll be showcasing a very unique structure mod I'm making that solves the problem of sand not being renewable. Consider leaving a like and subscribing, and leave your ideas for future mods in the comments.